And welcome back, everyone, to the grand finals. We do have, oh geez, hit the right button, there we go, P. We do have our two Zergs, our two famous Zergs that we've been following throughout the entirety of this long tournament, double elimination, all kinds of crazy stuff that's been going on. And it will be a Zerg versus Zerg. Down here in the bottom left corner, spawning as the yellow Zerg, we have Midiga. Did I say yellow Zerg twice? And in the top right, spawning as the orange Zerg, we have our overlay maker, MacabreDerek. This will be a best of 5. Macabre is coming from the loser's bracket, and Midiga is coming from the winner's bracket. So if Midiga wins this best of 5, then the tournament will be over and he will be crowned the champion and win the grand prize of a free coaching lesson by me. If he loses this, then it will go on to a second best of 5, where Macabre will have a chance to take the crown, and Midiga will get another chance to pull it off, but we'll see what happens. They're both droning so hard. Drone so hard, although Macabre's kind of taking he's winning on the making drone thing. So we do have looks like a 13 pool by Midiga. Looks like a little bit earlier than Macabre's pool. Macabre probably did a standard 14 pool. He's been doing that a lot. I think every match so far he's done a 14 pool, so nothing too out of the ordinary. No one's trying anything risky yet, but I expect in this best of 5, once we get into it and these players start understanding the people's play, their opponent's play, that is, they're going to be able to already sense what they're going to do and adjust their builds accordingly. So this first game is probably going to be just a preview of what the other player is going to be doing. Midiga will get their early gas, and if Macabre plays like he has been in the previous games, he will not be taking his gas right away. Looks like, yeah, he will not be, but he did take that expansion early. Midiga will get some early lings out. He has 6 coming already, so he's probably going to put some early pressure on, and I think this could really hurt Macabre in this build that he does. He's not very well prepared for very early pressure like this, so Midiga might see that when he shows up and know that these few Zerglings that he pumped out right at the beginning might actually do a lot of damage, because there's not much that Macabre can do except use some drones to fight off those lings. Macabre does have 4 Zerglings coming, and he does have a queen out, so he will have that, and he should start a second queen and send this queen down, which he is doing, which is looking good. Macabre will have the defender's advantage. This is a very large map that takes a long time to run these lings across, so it has Macabre has a lot of time to react. And it looks like they won't get the kill on this queen, and it's cleaned up very well by Macabre without overreacting too. Although he is making 6 Zerglings now, which are unnecessary, but I don't think he went too overboard with the reaction for that. And just as I say that, he starts doing some constant ling production, which might not be the best option. Behind that little mini aggression, Midiga did decide to take an expansion once he saw that his opponent already has the expansion, and puts a spine crawler down for any type of counterattacks. Midiga got the early gas but didn't get the early ling speed, so he will get the baneling nest. So he might try to just see what he can do with slow lings and slow banelings. And it looks like we will have a little bit of a ling attack that Midiga probably doesn't know much about coming in. But he will have these spines up. Looks like only 1 will be ready in time, and you'll be very outnumbered. No, maybe not. Some more lings just showed up, and Macabre was actually going to pull back. He's not going to risk losing these lings. It would have been a pretty close fight. He probably had more lings, but with the spines, he wouldn't have been able to win the engagement, but he would have been able to do some damage, especially if he could have snuck into this main. He could have done a whole lot of damage. And Roach Warren's going down for Macabre. I think that's a good choice right now, especially with this Baneling nest down, which I don't think has been scouted yet, but in any case, it's still a good choice. Banelings aren't very good against roaches. And again, this nice looking wall off by Macabre. This is great building positioning that he's been showing the last few games. And I mean, he even has these lings here on this side to prevent any type of run-ins. So there's no getting into this base right now, and there's not going to be any ling run-bys. So he's very well prepared for that. Some ling speed would be really good to have, but it looks like he might just go more roach heavy, as Midiga's going more ling heavy, and might end up going into banelings from there. Midiga did get that ling speed. Let's check the unit count right now, see what we have going on. Midiga has a lot of Zerglings, 28 to 15 Zerglings, but other than that, everything really looks the same. So once those roaches start pumping out, there's going to be a shift over to the the roach side, and so there's drones being made now, which I think is a good choice by Macabre to get way ahead in this drone count. So it actually has almost double the amount of drones that Midiga has. There we go. And now the roaches are starting to get pumped out. So these are very well saturated bases, a little bit oversaturated, but if he decides to take some gases here and build some buildings, then he'll have a few extra drones. So not a big deal. There are some missed injects right here that would be really helpful. But a macro hatch is going down, and also an expansion going down at the same time. Unfortunately, it looks like that's going to have to be canceled because I don't think he's going to be able to get here in time for that, and he's not going to get the cancel. He was a kill, so that was a lost 300 minerals. And Midiga does have a lot of Zerglings, but he sees this wall off and he can't do much of anything against it. And with these roaches here, those Zerglings aren't going to do very much good, and he knows it, so he's going to back off and maybe tech up a little bit. He's not building anything at all right now. We still need this inject by Macabre. But I'm interested now to see what Midiga decides to do. He's going to go Spire. He took a third behind that attack, which I think is a great idea, and he ended up stopping this expansion here by Macabre. So there's really an opportunity now for Midiga to pull ahead. If he gets the Spire and maybe does some Muta harass, he might be able to sort of come back from this game. He has a little bit of a supply unlead deficit, but geez, I just totally lost my train of thought. So right, Macabre has the supply advantage and the drone advantage, which is giving him, you know, geez, this is not going well for me tonight, which is giving him the advantage. So if Midiga is able to catch up in drones, here, that's where I was going with this. If Midiga can catch up in drones, which he has 54 drones to the 51 drones, then he can quickly catch up in supply. Unfortunately, it looks like Macabre might not let that happen. He is going to take out this third, and it looks like he is going to get the kill and all these worker kills too. So all that I was just saying about, oh, maybe not. These lings are going to come, but it's not going to be enough though. These roaches are a little bit stronger against the Marines. The Marines, the Zerglings, and the hatchery will go down. A lot of workers will go down, and so that was a loss of about 10 workers, unless some were killed earlier, and a couple more kills. And now this is not looking good for Midiga. Macabre is just going to keep on pushing, and I like this pressure that Macabre puts on. When he decides to assault his opponent, it's just constant aggression, and there's the GG from Midiga for game one. So On to game 2 of this best of 5.